Good morning, everyone. I am Toby, the Kilted Adventurer. I'm back on Lookout Mountain, Tennessee today. I'm going to start on Eagle's Nest, and we're going to hike our way up to Craven's house. So let's go and have some fun. So before we hit the trail today, I'm going to show you this view from Eagle's Nest. Eagle's Nest is an old rock quarry. You can see the Tennessee River and downtown Chattanooga. It's a really good place to stop if you're ever near the Ruby Falls part of Lookout Mountain. I referred to this in a previous running video as well, so check that out if you get a chance. This is a nice spot. The Gill Trail, or the lower section, and the Hardy Trail, the upper section, are really just one old pathway. It's an old railroad bed built in 1887 by the Lookout Mountain Railway Company. The old rail bed gradually ascends a total of 5 miles from St. Elmo to the top of Lookout Mountain. It's an easy double track, makes the trail very popular with hikers, runners, and mountain bikers. So this is a mixed-use trail, at least this part is, and I've talked about that in previous episodes. So I won't belabor the point. Remember, runners, hikers, walkers on the right, bikers on the left. And bikers, if you want to do us an extra special favor, announce yourself. No one likes a surprise. It's a beautiful morning. It's about 63 degrees. Birds are chirping. I want you to have a chance to see this area. It's a lush forest. It's got great rocks all the way up Lookout Mountain. So another cool feature of this trail is there are a number of remnants from when it was constructed in the 1930s, part of the CCC program, FDR's New Deal, to help bring the country out of depression. So this particular trail is a very popular tourist destination. If you come up here on a Saturday or certain times during the summer, be prepared to have a lot of company. I typically will do this on a weekday, like today. I took a Friday off work to hit the trails for a few hours. So far I've run into a group of runners, one guy on a mountain bike, and one guy who looked like he was ready to hike the Andes Mountains. And of course, they ran into a guy wearing a kilt. So when you're out on the trail, you never know what you'll expect. At about 1.3 miles, we come to a decision point. We're going to take the left switchback. This continues us on the old rail line. We will, a mile or so later, there's another decision point, and we'll take a look at that when we get there. We're continuing our way to Cravens Terrace and Cravens house, where the battle above the clouds was waged in 1863. This old rail line passed below this house and now continues as a gravel track known as the Hardy Trail for another mile until it intersects Scenic Highway near the top of the mountain. About a mile and a half in, you come to the ruins of Camp Demaray. They're visible below. You can see this was part of a CCC complex that was active through 1939. 5 years after the land became part of the Chickamauga and Chattanooga National Military Park. In fact, most of the hiking trails at Lookout Mountain battlefield were constructed by the CCC. Today you can see the walls of the camp are still standing. This is where the men lived, worked, Not going to go down there today because this poison ivy would not be my friend when I got home. But if you come during the winter, it is definitely worth checking out. So at about 1.7 miles, you have another decision point. If you stay straight on this, there is eventual asphalt, and then it takes you straight to Cravens house. If I'm running, I guess if I was to get on a bike for some unknown reason, I would go that way. But what I'm going to do today is a trail called Rifle Pit. Rifle Pit's trails, it's really a nice way to meander through some small rock gardens, dense forest. The leaves, if you come in out here in the fall, are really nice. You can see some really good views of the valley below. The history of this is in November of 1963, Union troops had charged up the western flank of the mountain to dislodge the Confederate riflemen who had dug trenches and rifle pits, hence the trail's name, to hold off the oncoming assault. The first 0.1 mile of Rifles Pits is very steep. It's a technical ascent or descent. When you have heavy leaf coverage, I always recommend that hikers carry walking sticks and take this section very gingerly. Alright, still on Rifle Pit Trail. Check out these rocks. This is almost magical. Alright, I'm almost at the top of Rifle Pits. There's a house down below. It's kind of strange, but I guess people have lived here a lot longer than the national park's been here. You can catch your first views, though, of downtown Chattanooga on the Tennessee River. Okay, here's another decision point. You come to Cravens Trail, which will lead us to Cravens house. There's also other options if you want to make a round trip to Sunset Rock or Point Park. It's going to take us right up here, so we're going to go see Cravens house. So I've got a little confession to make. I didn't look at the maps before I came up here. I've done this trail so many times that I thought I had it memorized. I've actually been on the Bluff Trail for the last half mile. I should have turned left on Cravens Trail, so I'm going to backtrack. A few extra steps, a few extra things to see, no big deal. A great reminder, check those maps. I always want to give you a few seconds point of view. Cravens Trail is it's a very touristy trail. Like I said a little earlier in the video, if you come up here on the weekends, you run into a lot of people, so if that's a problem, you might want to come up here on a less crowded day. But obviously today is turning out to be very nice.